Education in the new age is facing unprecedented challenges. Resource constraint is a reality that we might all as well accept. In this scenario, frugality has become the new mantra, and innovator will become the key differentiator between those who chose to pave ahead and those who chose to stagnate. We as leaders in schools realize this more than anyone else. We do not enjoy the economies of scale and rigor. Therefore, clever solutions as and when they are found lead us on. There was a joke on WhatsApp that used to do the rounds about the Indian mindset, which said an Indian, when he bought his first t-shirt, would wear it for precious occasions, and then later for casual outings, and then at home, and then finally, after being used as nightwear, it would land up as the ghar ka pocha. But what is so funny or cheap about this? To my mind, this is innovation. Jugaad, as we call it in India. Innovative fixes can actually become an addiction, and we in our Sarvodaya Vidyalaya are certified addicts. We have become ingenious entrepreneurs looking for clever solutions. Every harsh constraint has become a fine invitation for us to innovate. On a high, after a recent promotion, I suddenly found myself on the other side of the table as a leader who had to take on an entire school and take it to greater heights. It was a nearly problem-free school, but there was one thing that was consistently irking me, and that was the amount of money that we were spending on unchoking the drains. And all that was happening was unsafe, unwanted disposal of used sanitary napkins. And there began a simple workshop on menstrual hygiene, some demonstrations in the prayer assembly, some counseling, and hey presto, it was a eureka moment for us. Thereafter, not a single rupee spent on unchoking of drains. And that is where it all began. Innovation today has become the backbone in our school. We are making resourceful use of materials. We are making resourceful use of processes and, of course, resourceful use of people. Now I was given a completely new charge. I took over as head of school of a co-educational school with a strength of almost 1800 students and pitfalls at every step. There was truancy all around. A sense of desolation overtook me. About 5 to 6 broken desks every day, which seemed very normal to most, was a shock to me. They were being used for everything but studying. The rods being used as thread tools between rival boy groups, the wood being used as cricket bats, and if not for anything else, but to simply satisfy their urges of destruction. Oh my. At the same time, I realized that the tiny tots in the school were sitting without any furniture to their rooms, on the floor. Then it struck me. Is there any way we can use these broken rods to create furniture for the tiny tots? Yes, I said to myself, and all it took was bringing together those broken rods and creating 12 wonderful chokis for my tiny tots who still sat on the floor, but used these chokis to create a completely different environment, and also it proved a great boost to developing their motor skills. Simultaneously, I also saw that the midday meal being served was not palatable to me. Not because of the food, but the way it was being served. The purpose of the midday meal scheme is not just to keep them away from hunger, but also to instill in them social togetherness and social etiquettes, both of which was not happening. Like I said before, opportunities have been served to us on a platter. Just then, some renovation work was going on at home, and a huge window was dismantled. This window became the base for creating trolleys, which would be then used to serve the midday meal to these children. There were many rooms, small size though, which were dump yards. They were cleared up, and we came up with the very first primary science lab in our school, and a nice activity room to give vent to their creativity. We created the very first free access reading library in our school, and that too under the staircase. There was skepticism. I was told that books would disappear by the end of the day. Even today, there are more books than we started with. The children hound the place during recess or in the free periods and have fun time there picking up the books and reading them. Similarly, the staircase landings have been painted and they have become amphitheatres. Then came another turning point. The government had selected our school as a pilot school and it was plowing in a lot of money for its renovation, and the entire project was handed over to DTDDC. Entire floors were ripped apart. We realized that this scrap could be used to create more and more items for us. And we have today display boards, bulletin boards, settees, newspaper stands, flower pot holders, benches for having parents to wait in the lounge. You name it and we have it, come all out of scrap. Processes in every school exist, but a tweak here and a tweak there can change the entire paradigm. Discipline is one of the core areas, and late coming is a prime issue in it. I met a colleague who had developed a system to track down latecomers. I found it a bit tedious, so a tweak here and a tweak there, and we created a database of every child in the school with slots for date and time of late coming to be mentioned. Suddenly we realized that the children were far more aware since they were being tracked. Not only this, we found a huge whole bunch of children who were coming late because there were severe serious problems at home. Such cases were referred to the school counselor, while the others were prodded and persuaded to be on time. Within a span of 6 months, we suddenly realized that late coming had trickled down to single-digit numbers. Now with new age technology, e-learning is looming large on the horizon. And suddenly, most of us will have to admit that the new generation that is being schooled now may be educated for skills and trades and jobs that might not even exist as of now. So lifelong learning is the new mantra. And so every child has to be equipped with foundational literacies, with competencies, and with character qualities. And we found a fertile ground for all this in our primary classes. We found that the children enjoyed the visit to the campus, and the campus and its flora and fauna were being used to create a new knowledge database for them. Not only this, we have also experimented with simulating activities. Like we take them for a visit to a post office or a bank, and then these children come back and simulate, create, and learn the flow of currency, the circulation of currency, or maybe how messages or letters travel. It could be very basic for us, but very important learning lessons for them. Activity-based learning is what we want to do. Our motto being, I see, I do, I learn. Another very important innovation that we have rolled out this year is multidisciplinary study. We've chosen 3 subjects. For class 5, we've chosen EVS, for class 4, social studies, and for class 3, English. Apart from the activities for each topic of the syllabus, the children are also given multidisciplinary cues to learn from. We are of course using the online available material for this, and the teachers are also developing their own. And I'm sure 3 months or 6 months down the line, we shall have a huge volume of data which will not only come through action research that is following along with this, but also with actual learning. One of the key qualities that we need to develop in our children is social and cultural self-awareness. A number of self-awareness programs take place as part of the process in schools, be it child abuse, cyber safety, health awareness, road safety, et al. But we found a very dramatic way to instill this. We use theatre, not just Nukkad Natak, but also the platform of the puppet theatre. Remember the puppet theatre that we created out of scrap? Yes, the same. A puppet is seen as a very non-threatening person by the child. And what better way to take across hard-hitting messages to the children in a manner no lecture can ever do. We have a group of rap artists in the school who are taking this forward. We then come to social sensitization, which is equally important. It is not just about me, I and myself. It is about we, the way we are together as a family, as a society. And today we find that our senior citizens, the grandparents, feel kind of left out. Love, care and respect are the three prime things that they demand, they want. And we are trying to instill these qualities in our children by celebrating days such as Grandparents' Day. If parent-teachers meeting is a platform to convey to the parent what his child or what her child has been doing in school, I find this a tool, a process which can be used to create a huge database and record meticulously every achievement, every single behavioral pattern of the child. Empowering the children is yet another focal point in our school. Each class has a mediation cell consisting of 5 children from the same class who tackle issues such as bullying and other problems which can escalate into graver ones. And for each block of classes, like for the class 6, 7 and 8, there is a block mediation cell. These children, the mediators, are being trained by the EVGC, the counselor of the school. Another process that we have used to our benefit is the induction program in our school. New children come into the school either at KG level or class 6 or then in senior classes at class 9 and class 11. It is the KG children who, being suddenly transported from the comfort zones of their homes to a big huge school, find themselves completely alienated. As a result, these children are unwanting to come to school. So we thought, let's innovate this process by having the parents too come down with the child and stay with the child in school for at least the first 10 days of schooling. Another innovation that we brought about this year is the post-exam experiences. We realize that the learning gap that is being bridged by the government in its huge program would find impetus if we too pitch in a bit. So after the exams were over, we realized that the class 5 children who were a little behind the others could be brought up at par with the others. If on the one hand, resourceful use of materials and processes has set the ball rolling in our school, on the other hand, it is the resourceful use of people that has added the final touch. Today in our school, we have Share Your Best Practices practice, which we call the comparative advantage paradigm, in which faculty members share their best practices between themselves and then take it to the children. This way, the teachers collaborate and the students benefit. We also have a hidden agenda, and that of rejuvenating our very qualified professionals by sending them to field trips and other places where they can completely let their guard down and come back rejuvenated. I rely on them and trust them to deliver, and so far everything is moving in the right direction. Our instruction is improved. Our primary wing and its innovative approach to curriculum can compare with the best and is still improving. Teaching learning has become enjoyable. Leaders have emerged. Morale is high. Parents and other stakeholders are increasingly commenting on the positive change. The happiness quotient is on the rise. And so far, everything is moving in the right direction. Thank you so much for your patient hearing.